G'day and welcome to another Pokemon Go video. So jumping straight into Go Battle League, and we're in the Great League. So as you can see, I'm Ace Trainer, and I'm going to see if Grasshole still works. So I'll link to a playlist of my other Season 6 battles now, so if you want to check those out, jump in and have a look. But going to give Grasshole another run through for Season 6 and see if it is still as annoying as ever for everybody. So we'll jump into this first game and see what we get. So obviously with Grasshole, you don't want to see, usually you don't want to see water or fighting on the lead. So Hypno on the lead's not too bad. Swap in the Scrafty, so I'll counter swap in my Tropius here. So actually what I probably should have done is swap into Victreebel, and the reason for that is because Hypno is going to do a lot of damage to Victreebel, so you don't want to see those. The confusion damage is just going to be absolutely immense, so you don't want to see those two lined up. But thankfully they brought out Hypno, and we'll see what we get. So there goes one shield, and then they're going to be able to confusion me down. I'm going to come in with Basteodon. I do know they have Thunder Punch, but what else are they running? So I hit Flamethrower there, which is the wrong move. You want to go for Stone Edge in that situation, but they shielded anyway, so it doesn't matter. So it looks like they're running Shadow Ball and Thunder Punch, so this is absolutely fine. So I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure why I shielded there, and they decided to let that go. So don't know what they had in the back, but that was good game shielding up that Shadow Ball. So first game, and it went okay. I'm, to be honest, not sure why I shielded up the Shadow Ball. Probably because I wanted to fully take out the Hypno. If the Hypno's confusions came into my Shadow Vic, it would have been really bad. So in hindsight, that's probably why I shielded up. So into the next one, Toxicroak. So not a great lead for me. I'm going to swap into my Tropius and see what we get. So that seemed awfully quick to get to a Sludge Bomb, but as you can see, they did get there. So going to overfarm just a fraction and then throw the Leaf Blade, and I do get the shield, so that is good. Unfortunately, they have a lot of energy on the Toxicroak, so let them throw these mud bombs as they please onto the Bastiodon. So they swap into a Azumarill, and unfortunately I hit a Flamethrower. So throw the Flamethrower and do a little bit of chip damage, and then the Azumarill gets a couple of extra fast moves in and throws the Ice Beam. So going to be able to now farm this all the way down before he gets to another Ice Beam, and I do have energy stored, so Mud Bomb's going to come through, and I'm going to look to farm this down. So still not throwing, and it is a Galarian Stunfisk, so not looking ideal, but I'm going to throw the Acid Spray because they're going to shield it up anyway, and we'll see if I can get to a move. Well, see if I can fast move farm them down, and I can't. So unfortunately not able to take that game. Had I not thrown my energy on the Azumarill, the Flamethrower, could have thrown it as soon as I swapped out into the Bastiodon, so it would have been a closer game. I'm not sure if it would have KO'd or not, but there's a lesson for you, and it is, save that Flamethrower. So jump into the next one, and it's a Marowak, which is really, really good. For me, they swap into the Meganium. So Meganium versus Tropius is an absolutely outstanding matchup. So Earthquake does no damage, flying type, so it's immune, and then throw the Frenzy Plant. It's also, well, it's flying type, which is resistant to grass, and it's also grass type, which is resistant to grass. So just absolute beast. So here I want to undercharge a lot because I want to still have the opportunity to farm up a little bit of extra energy. So as you can see, they got to 3 charge moves and only just took me with that last one under half health. So going to throw the Sky Attack here, and we'll see if I get a shield. So no shield there, so it does a little bit of damage, but they are going to be able to farm me down with the Fire Spins. Unfortunately for them, I do get to another Leaf Blade. Well, I get to a Leaf Blade as well as the Air Slash. So out comes the Bastiodon and in comes the Azumarill. I swap into the Shadow Vic. I'm going to have to shield this up once like every other matchup. And then look to farm this down. So I'm not going to throw energy here. I am, however, going to throw the Acid Spray now. Going to be doing, obviously, a lot less damage. So we'll see what they want to do. So they didn't shield that up, and they know at that stage this is good game right here. So able to take that one fairly well as well. So having a Azumarill in the opposing team works out really well when you can lock in and have a shield with the Shadow Vic. So you need that shield, but you spend a shield and you'll get energy to throw on whatever comes in next. So happy days. So Pelipper on the lead for the opposition, and out comes a Razor Leaf Whimsicott. So going to look to farm up here. They're probably going to be throwing the Moonblast, and there it is. Unfortunately, I got to my charge move at the same time, but I will still look to take this completely out. And out comes a Bastiodon. So not ideal for me. I need to think about what I want to do here, and I'm going to come out and match this with my own Bastiodon. Unfortunately, they get to a charge move before I do. Out through comes the Flamethrower, and then I'll swap into my Shadow Vic, and the reason for that is because I don't want to... The Bastiodon is my winning play here, and so out comes... So I wanted to wait for it to throw energy and then come in and do as much damage as I could with the Shadow Vic before it managed to take me down. I still have one shield, so able to use a shield on the Pelipper because obviously the water type attack, you do not want to be taking that damage. We're on equal shields. I've got more health, so at this point this is a foregone conclusion. They realise that, and thankfully they don't force me to finish that match because no one wants to play that out. Very long, boring match, so thank you very much for not forcing me to do that. So we'll jump straight into the next one and see what we get on the lead. So Obstagoon on the lead, so not ideal, and I say not ideal because it really isn't, but they switch straight, so I switch into Tropius, they counter swap into the Alolan Marowak, and straight up throw the Shadow Ball, which is the right play. I was really hoping they'd throw the Bone Club, but not to be. So able to get to the one charge move, not able to get to a second. They did slow down their attack there. I guess they don't want me to farm up as much energy with the Bastiodon, but going to be able to then farm this down. So they did get one move off there, and I will swap into my Shadow Vic here, and as you can see it is just tearing apart the Obstagoon. It does do the Night Slash, and it's going to have obviously back to back. I'm going to let this second one go. They didn't get a boost, so it's not quite enough to take me out, and at this point they realise that's good game, so leave the match. So really good game there for me. Able to take that comfortably. Able to, as you can see, go 4-1 in that set, so it worked out really quite nicely. A few lead losses, a few lead wins, but able to go 4-1, with the fifth match being a mistake by me, throwing that energy on the Azumarill instead of holding it back for what comes in. So into this one, we've got Tropius Matched against Skarmory. So this is an awful matchup for me, but it does mean it gets rid of the Skarmory for my Shadow Vic in the back, which is the whole point of switching in to the second or first grass type. So what you want to do is get them to switch into their Skarmory, which they did, and then come in and farm it down with the Bastiodon, just because Skarmory does absolutely no damage to Bastiodon. For this one, I'm going to throw the Rock Slide here, and we'll see what they want to do. So they let that one go, and then I'm going to swap into my Shadow Vic, and it absolutely shreds the Swampert there, and they're not quick enough to the swap, so I take them out. I'm able to get to the Acid Spray, which is absolutely massive. They've got 2 shields, so they are going to shield this up, and unfortunately for them it does no damage, even if they didn't shield it up. I'm going to shield up a second time, and because I've acid sprayed them, I am going to be able to farm them down before they can get to another charge move. So they see that just at the end and leave the game. So really good game there. You do need 2 shields to be able to take that matchup, but it does work out all right. And you do need to throw the acid spray. If shields are down, the move might be better for going for a leaf blade, but shields are up, so you pretty much, well, when they've got 2 shields up at that stage, you know they're probably going to use one, so safe bet is the acid spray. So Abomasnow on the lead. So I switch, they switch out into Mew, and I switch out into my Tropius here. So going to throw the Leaf Blade here. We'll see what happens. We get the first shield, and they're going into a charge move. So going to let this one go, and it's the Surf. Absolutely massive call. This next one's probably going to be a wild charge. And there it is. So as you can see, it does quite a lot of damage, but because of the grass typing, it's neutral, and then it drops their defense, so I am able to take it out. Out comes the Abomasnow and farms me down, which is unfortunate. I swap into my Basteodon. They then swap into their Stunfisk, and so I counter swap into good old Shadow Vic, and then throw the Leaf Blade. So we'll see what they want to do, and so they do use their second shield, which is fine with me. I'm going to have to look to try and farm them down. Let's see if I can do it. Unfortunately, not quite able to get there, and not able to take them out. So they did throw that charge move. Out comes the Abomasnow, and I'm going to look to throw the Flamethrower. So they're going to be able to get to a couple of charge moves before me, but going to be able to get the Flamethrower, and it's double super effective because of the Ice and Grass typing, and that's enough to take it out. Stunfisk has one little one fast move worth of health left and take it out, and that is a good game right there. So we'll jump into the next one and see how we go. So again, leading Grasshole. So yeah, love it or hate it. There's a reason it's a popular team, and it still looks to be a little bit effective. So we've got a Primate on the lead, swap out into Tropius, and they counter swap into Umbreon there. So not too bad for me. I'm going to look to throw another Leaf Blade. So Umbreon is a massively bulky Pokemon, but they shield that up, so that's interesting there. I'm going to look to throw another Foul Play, and so with the bulk of Umbreon, really not ideal, but it's also not going to be doing super effective damage, so that's absolutely fine. So going to let the Tropius go, and another foul play coming through, and unfortunately they're able to fast move farm me down here. So they've got Switch, but I've got Shields. So we'll see how we play this out. So Foul Play comes through, does absolutely no damage, and I'm going to look to farm this Umbreon down, so I have energy to throw on what I assume will be the Primate coming back out. So let's see what we want to do. So Primate comes back out, straight into the Flamethrower. To do a bit of chip damage there, and then looking to let this one go, and we'll see what happens. So Night Slash comes through, does absolutely no damage. I swap into the Shadow Vic to get a little bit of an energy lead, and then through comes the Cresselia. Shield up the first one, even though I'm almost 100% positive it's a Grass Knot, but there's no point letting that energy go, and then that is the game over right there. Able to take that down before they're able to get to any more charge moves, and another good game. So we'll jump into the next one and see what we get. So the issue with this team is it can win pretty well, but it also can lose really hard. So this is a really good lead match for me, but they swap into Abomasnow, which is a really terrible matchup for everything else. So what do I do here? And the answer is I should have tried to, well, I did try to catch a move here, and then I also shouldn't have shielded up this Victreebel. I should have just let it go, because it's going to be absolutely useless. As you can see, they got to 2 charge moves, so it was absolutely useless. What do they have in the back? Shadow Matched in the back. So they're going to shield this up and fully farm me down. So this is really rough. Really rough right now. There is really nothing I can do. So although I had a very good lead match, swapping into the Abomasnow, it just meant I couldn't swap into my backline because that thing was absolutely tanked it, as you could see when I swapped into Victreebel. Yeah, just not an ideal play there. Should not have shielded up the Victreebel. Had they not got to the second charge move, might have been slightly better, but they did. So into this next game, and we've swapped in, and it's Wiggly Tough versus Tropius. So this one's not too bad. Wiggly Tough is going to throw an Ice Beam here, so I want to do as much damage as I possibly can. So here I need to think about what I want to do. So going to let that go. Wiggly Tough, going to take it out, and then I'm going to come back in with the Basteodon and look to farm down. Those charms are going to be doing not a whole lot of damage. Back out comes the Toxicroak, which is expected, and it's going to be throwing those Mud Bombs. Those Mud Bombs are, as you can see, going to do a lot of damage. Get to another Flamethrower, and they don't shield it up, so that's alright for me. I want to swap out my Bastiodon, which I do, because there's no point having the Toxicroak farm me down. Out comes the Sableye here. I'm going to have to use another shield. So there's my second shield gone. Going to look to go the farm down and go straight for the Acid Spray. Let's see what they want to do here. Acid Spray comes through and I get their last shield. Debuffs them and I'm able to fast move farm them down. Happy days. So really good games, except for, well, one where I won lead and then lost hard because I had two really hard counters, but able to go 4-1 and get the excellent throw on the Vulpix as my reward. Unfortunately, not shiny, but can't win them all. So managed to get the excellent throw and an extra large Vulpix candy, so always good to get a few of those. But as you can see, let's see what that does to my ranking. So 23.52 currently. And I will claim that and see how it goes. So able to get a little bit of extra Stardust, and there it is. So 23.94. So really good there. And as you can see, it looks like Grasshole still has a place to play in Season 6 of the meta. Unfortunately, there is, well, either fortunately or unfortunately, there is a lot more teams that probably deal with it a little bit better. So another team that I really like running leads with Diggersby, and Diggersby's obviously going to have a pretty good time matched up against a Bastiodon. So lots of teams that counter it a little bit more now, but as you can see, still a good team in Season 6, and hopefully that was useful for someone. And thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.